What's up, my people? We are back after a long break to bring you another episode of Random Ear Candy. And we are back with Pickle,
Holly,
Sweet Pea,
Hey, y'all.
French Fry.
what's up?
How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing good.
Pretty good.
How are you?
I am doing fantastic.
Awesome.
Are y'all ready to have another conversation?
I am. Always.
Sure am.
Let's do it. And yes, it has been way too long since we've all sat around the table and talked about anything. We had a lot going on.
We did. We had a little Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, had a lot going on. How many Mondays did we skip?
One.
Yeah, we just
We
skipped
skipped
one.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought for some reason it was
No.
two.
Nope.
Nope.
We only skipped one.
So just one. So we apologize if you went to listen to it on the release date of a Monday. And in fact, I do know there were a few people who were disappointed. They asked, where's it at? Where's
I know,
the
I
episode?
felt bad.
And I felt bad because we did not give a heads up, or we did not let anyone know on social media or anything that we weren't doing one. I don't think we did.
We didn't.
We just didn't do it. But we had so much going on, and to be honest, we really have to look from now to the end of the year. And it's just, I guess, around the holidays and everything being so busy, just not sure how things are going to work out.
We have a lot of family events scheduled
gonna
between now and then.
If we're going to be able to release every Monday, but we're going to do what we can. And if we can't release on a certain day, we're going to try to put that out on social media and give people a heads up, because there were some that were maybe not
Brokenhearted.
Maybe not everybody was disappointed.
Did we make a decision on how often we're going to release in the next few weeks?
I would love to say it's still going to be the every Monday, but I honestly don't know. It's kind of a play by ear thing. We're going to figure it out, and we'll put it on the social media and let y'all know. But
Sounds good.
let's make the most of our time now. We are in a different location inside. So when I say we're in the studio, I've always meant we were in a certain room in our house that we had kind of turned into a studio, and we are trying a new location in our house.
I don't love it.
Me neither.
I love it.
It's 2 against 2.
It could affect maybe.
Yeah, because I like it.
It could affect some of the sound and stuff. So we're going to work through it. This is kind of our trial run episode.
Shall we tell them where we are?
To see, no, that remains that remains a family secret. Seriously, I'm giving Sweet Pea the look right now. That remains a family secret.
Blackmail.
Maybe if one day like we ever start a Patreon or something, like maybe that could be one of the deep dark secrets that we let only the Patreon members know about. But
It'd be hard to keep it just there, though. 'Cause then they could just
so
go tell
anyway,
everybody.
we're trying a location. This episode is the guinea pig episode of
The new location.
the new location.
The
So
secret location.
boy, y'all are making that sound really like some deep dark secret, which really is not even as big a deal as y'all are
You're
making
making
it
it a
up
big
to be.
deal because you won't tell them. All right, we need to move on.
All right, so let's get on with this episode, and let's start with our
This day in history.
This Day in History. That's right. Pickle, give us some good This Day in History music.
It's
vibes.
already on.
There it is.
On this day in history, November the 28th, I think this says 1895, there was
Where's our glasses, y'all?
the ink is running out.
Oh,
The first person to observe X-rays was a German physicist named Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen. I don't think I'm saying that right.
that's a long name. Can you say that one more?
pronounce-
Hold
No.
on. Can you
The
say
O's not pronounced like
Wait,
that. 'cause
hold
that's
on.
the two
Ah,
dots.
I know that means ah.
Hey,
Oh, it does.
can you say that one more time? I didn't hear you.
No, I'm not. Anyway,
What's his name, William?
Mr. Wilhelm
Oh.
accidentally discovered X-rays while working on cathode rays, and he was awarded the first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901 for his discovery.
That's pretty cool. So
X-rays were not discovered on purpose. They weren't thinking, hey,
By
let's find a way to do an
accident.
So what,
X-ray.
he somehow
So
stumbled
It
across
was
a
an
machine.
accident.
you know, that happens a lot, that we benefit from things that were accidents, and we won't go into all the things, but that is really cool. that we can go get an X-ray now, and that came about because of somebody accidentally.
Because of this gentleman.
Yeah, that's
I'm not going to say his name again.
yeah.
I already
what was
ruined it once.
What was his name?
What was he sometimes called?
Wilhelm. Okay. On November the 28th in 1939, there was an assassination attempt on Hitler. It says attempt.
Was it failed?
Well, let's read and see.
I guess because Hitler
Johann
went suicide.
Elser, a German woodworker, attempted to kill Adolf Hitler and other high-ranking members of the Nazi Party during the 16th anniversary observances of the beer hall Putsch.
Get it out now. Come on.
Probably.
Anyways, it says attempted, so I think it probably didn't work.
I wonder how many attempts there were on Adolf
There
Hitler.
will probably never
It
know.
seems like every time someone tries to attempt something, they never actually succeed.
Well,
Like, yeah,
There's been quite a
No,
few
I'm
presidents that
saying-
were attempted and
I'm
succeeded.
saying, like, a lot of the time you hear about these attempts, and it's like they can't aim right or something. I don't know.
Well, it just depends. Anyways, we may never know how many attempts there were.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Um,
regime probably
sure.
wouldn't want people to know about.
for sure.
During that time, they probably
Right.
didn't want people to know anyways.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, in 1960, Senator John F. Kennedy was elected as the 35th President of the United States.
That was
35th.
not in my time. That was in my mom's time.
What number?
1960.
What number
Oh
president
no,
are we on?
no, she was 62. So that was even before my mom's
Well, he
time.
was probably president while she was,
Are we on the 51st?
Yeah.
yeah, when she was born, he was probably still president.
Yeah, she. I remember her. I think she remembered hearing about his assassination. That's what it was. But anyway,
How old
Getting
do
off
you think
topic.
he was?
When he died?
I
No, when he was elected
so
president.
I don't know his age.
Don't say the interesting
No,
fact about
but I
him.
do know the interesting fact that I
Okay.
think you're trying to get
Don't
to.
say it.
Okay, so
Pickle, how old do you think he was when he was elected president?
I want to.
I know the youngest is like 45 or 40.
So what are you
And I know
guessing?
Obama was the youngest one, so
You have to make a guess.
I'm guessing like 55.
Okay.
I was going to
French
guess
fry?
like early 40s.
Early 40s. What about you, Chip? Is it fair? Do you remember how old?
I don't remember the age. I just remember the interesting fact that you're trying to get to.
He was actually 43. So
43.
Pickle
Wow.
But he was
and
the youngest, right?
French fry were close. He was the youngest
really?
president
nice.
to
Yeah,
be
I thought it-
elected.
I thought someone else was. Well,
Okay, last fact. In 2006, Walmart expanded its supercenters into Canada and opened the first 3 in Ancaster, London, and Stouffville, Ontario. I don't know if I said that right.
You know, I remember when we had a regular Walmart.
Oh, I do too.
And-
Oh, yeah.
I remember the regular Walmart, and I remember the first supercenter close to my hometown.
Oh, it was so exciting when it first
And
came.
I remember that they were open 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and that was unheard of because no retail store was open 24 hours.
know.
And the Supercenter Walmart opened up, and they said 24 hours were open. And I remember my dad saying, like at 10 o'clock at night, this was so random. He's like, let's go to Walmart. So my whole family,
made it a family
my
field
whole
trip.
family left. We went to my grandma's house and picked her up and went to the new Supercenter Walmart.
Country living at
that
its
was like,
finest.
That was like 20 minutes from my hometown just to see what the Supercenter Walmart was about.
Is it still?
it was a big
Is
deal.
it still
It wasn't-
open 24 hours?
It was a bit, well, some are, some aren't. Most aren't since all the COVID stuff. But Walmart Supercenter was such a big deal because that's when you combined regular Walmart stuff, and then the Supercenter brought in the whole
Groceries.
grocery thing. And then you had this one stop.
And you had automotive and the plant store,
the
all of it.
one-stop shopping experience is what Walmart Supercenter brought to the table.
Let me tell you,
Anyway, we're getting so off topic.
I wish
but it
that
was-
would have been
that was
brought
so
about
fun.
a lot sooner because I remember when my mom would go shopping when I was little. It was
Yeah.
an all-day
Yeah.
thing going to 5 different
So-
grocery stores.
All that being stemmed from happy birthday to Walmart Supercenters in Canada
Yeah.
because it was on the 29th in that year. What year was that?
was on the
2006.
28th.
What year was that?
2006.
2006. That was not that long ago
I
that
know.
Canada saw their first
I
Supercenter.
know it really wasn't. Not to
So-
us anyway.
All right. All right, well, let's move
That's
on.
when I was born, actually.
What, 2006?
Yep.
Wow.
Boy, you're a baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
little baby.
Little baby.
All right, what's our topic
So
for
the
the day?
topic today is, and just so the audience knows, this is another one of those topics that is a surprise to
So yeah, we don't even know about it.
Pickle and
French
French fry.
fry.
And Sweet Pea kind of maybe knows
I
where we're
haven't
going
heard
with
any
it,
of the
but
details.
she hadn't heard the details of this topic. So this topic is titled Hillbilly Old School Wisdom. So hillbilly quotations, old school wisdom.
Who came up with that title?
And this is not to make fun of any
Location.
location
No.
or anything like that, or not pointing out and targeting any specific group of people. That's just, I'm reading the title.
Except for the hillbillies.
That was not making fun of any hillbillies out there. So if you're in the mountains of West Virginia out there, this is
You
not
just targeted.
I did target. Sorry, West Virginia. We know some people from West Virginia. So
I love
that's-
West Virginia,
That's why I say
actually.
that. We might actually have some
West
friends
Virginia's awesome.
listening to this from West Virginia. So I'm just saying that this is not pointed at you. But this
But
is
it
called
is.
Hillbilly Old School Wisdom. And what this is this is just little sayings and life advice. So basically old school advice.
Okay.
And I want to know mainly if Pickle and French Fry can decipher and really get out of what this advice is trying to say. And some of these, I like some of these.
Well, and I would like to hear from anybody who identifies as a hillbilly if you think this is
I don't
something
think you
you've
would get
heard.
anybody to admit
Oh,
that.
you might.
I think I know someone
Okay,
who
so
will.
I really think this applies more to just old school more than it does hillbilly.
Well, anybody who's heard of it, but we have people we know who identify as rednecks. So,
So I imagine,
I know a couple people who try too hard to be
Here's
rednecks too.
when I read this title, and I've read through these things before, and I imagine, here's what I imagine. I imagine walking up on an old farm somewhere and seeing this old man
From West Virginia?
from way back. From way back out in his yard, and you go sit down, you start talking to him, and he calls you over under the tree, and he just starts pouring out his life experience on you.
yeah.
And he starts giving you all this advice. And this is what, like, some of those would come from him. So the first one says, keep your fences, or it says, your fences need to be horse high, pig tight, and bull strong. Do y'all have any clue what that would mean?
Does a fence time maybe so?
Horse high, pig tight, and bull strong.
Does
Your
horses-
fences?
Your fences.
Because
Like
horses.
literal fences or like
It just says your fences.
Tell him what you think it
what,
means.
What do you get from that?
you could either go like literally or you can go like kind of deeper. I don't know which direction you want me to
Wait,
go in.
what-
Start with literally.
Literally,
Literally build a good fence
build a good fence. right?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why does it mean by pig tight?
because pigs are
What do pigs do?
able to dig and
Yeah, they're hard to
escape,
keep contained.
like goats and
Yeah.
stuff.
If you're gonna build a fence, you got to build a good fence. Don't slack on. Don't just try to get by with the minimum fence. Make it high because horses can jump high. Pig tight, pigs are going to try to root out from underneath it. And bull strong, you find a bull, they're going to hit that fence head on. They're going to wiggle that fence back and forth. It's just advice. Whenever you go to do something,
Oh, so that was literal.
do it to.
I think it's both.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they may use that as a saying for life
Right.
stuff too.
So here's one: keep skunks, bankers, and politicians at a distance. Now
Ooh, I
imagine,
like
I
that
want
one.
you to imagine sitting down with an old timer and him telling you this.
I've
Well,
never heard of these before.
I know
haven't
you
either.
wouldn't, because guess what? You're not old school.
You're from 2006.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to see how you related to these.
Now we just say it as it is.
So why would you have somebody give you advice to say keep skunks, bankers, and politicians at a distance?
Don't get involved in politics.
Well,
They're not trustworthy.
they're not trustworthy, and sometimes they could smell bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bankers could try to get over on you.
Yeah.
Politicians are definitely going to try to get over on you. Skunks don't smell good. It's just not a good crowd that you might not want to associate with all the time. Kind of keep your distance from them. There might be times when you need them and you have to utilize their.
Except for skunks.
Yeah.
Never.
You had a pet skunk, didn't you?
Oh, you did have
For
a pet
just a
skunk.
little bit.
Until it started stinking.
Until it got big enough that its scent gland started developing. And my
So
mom
you didn't
said,
you didn't take this
I
advice.
did not take this old
Well,
timer's
no one
advice.
told you this advice.
He said to stay away from the skunks.
Unless the scent glands are out.
I brought the skunk into my home.
Ew, not
And then
good.
at about 2 weeks old, it started to smell like a skunk, which is really weird.
Surprise, surprise.
All right. Words that soak into your ears are whispered, not yelled.
Oh, I know what that means.
What would that be?
The most wiser things are said
No,
quietly.
if someone talks
Yeah,
to
he's
you
on the right track.
more, if someone is trying to get a point across to you, you're probably more likely to accept it if they say it in a calm manner than yelling and screaming at
Yeah. I think things are more respected or more receptive
Yeah,
you. Receptive.
better.
better if you're hearing it come from someone that is speaking calmly and passionately instead of just
Well, you could yell
someone that
passionately.
is you can, but
I know
Like
some
we
people
do
like
all
that.
the time. Speak calmly.
right.
Try to do all the time.
I think if somebody's yelling at you,
joking.
you're looking at them and you're staring at them thinking, man, okay, why are you yelling at me? But if
You're
they're
focusing on the mood rather
Right.
than the words.
yeah. So here's one says the best sermons are lived, not preached.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Actions, that's so see, you can relate to some old school stuff. But you just had a newer, cooler phrase.
Actually,
back in the day,
that's
maybe
pretty old. What he
where
said.
actions speak louder.
Yeah,
than
but
words.
they use that nowadays. They don't really use
the
it.
best sermons are
Should've
lived,
just said.
not preached. So if you see the preacher up in the pulpit and you know that he's living in a way that,
He's
Backs
preaching.
up what he says.
yeah. So I mean, you want both of those to line up. You want life lived at home.
Well, I think
to
it
match
goes
his
for
preaching.
regular people too.
Oh, for sure, right.
You shouldn't have to
Yeah,
go.
it's not really just
and-
talking about preachers behind the pulpit.
You shouldn't
It's
have to
just-
go and explain to everybody how wonderful you are. Your life should say that for
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
I mean, you could do both, but
Listen,
You could,
yeah.
but it's not doesn't mean as much if you have to say it.
Right. I like this next one. This is probably, I have a bunch of favorites, but this is probably one of my top favorites. If you don't take the time to do it right, you'll find the time to do it twice.
I love that.
Yep.
That one's
If you
awesome.
do it, if you don't do it right,
I
you
feel
gotta
like
do
that
it
is
again.
one that I have tried to pass down to my kids.
It
You know,
is.
do it right the first time.
I've said something similar before.
Because if you don't,
But I don't say it just like that. I say if you don't do it right the first time, you must have time to do it again.
exactly. And that's
It's
that's
the
what it
same
means.
thing,
That's what it
yeah.
means.
It's true though.
If you don't do it right this time,
You think
guess
you're
what?
saving, especially as a child.
Right.
They think that they're saving time by taking shortcuts or by
Stuff in their clothes in
doing
the
stuff in a
closet.
sloppy way. But in reality, you're
Right.
really wasting so much time.
One thing that comes to my mind just real quick is I remember being like way back in grade school, maybe
Mm-hmm.
in like first and second grade, and learning how to write. And we would have to write out all these spelling words and probably like in cursive or something. And that
Hold
was
on, half the listeners may not know what that is.
okay. Just writing. Yeah, cursive is way almost gone, but
Hey, I still write cursive all the time.
I remember trying to write these things out, and I remember break time was just right around the corner, and if I hurry up and get all these things written out faster, I could go to break, right?
all right, cursive.
So many times, guess what? The teacher would have the eraser, and she would erase the whole
This is the same
I know
teacher
who that
that
was.
enjoys erasers.
the whole page, and guess what? That page would get thrown back in front of me and say, "Okay, here, do it again." And I'm like, how much time could I have saved if I would just slow down and taken my time the first time?
This
right?
teacher loved erasers.
We should have gotten her some.
She had a thing with erasers. She was always over there. Every time you looked over there, just erasing, just smoke coming
Right.
off the page.
All right, here's one. Don't corner something that is meaner than you.
Don't catch a
corner
tiger by the
someone.
tail.
Don't corner something that is meaner than you.
Don't.
French fry, what is that?
I think I might know what it means, but it's hard to put it in words.
Don't pick a fight you can't
That's
finish.
the one I was
That's
thinking
what I
of.
meant. Yeah.
That's it.
Choose your battles wisely.
Choose-
So if you're going
choose
to
your
beat up on
battles
someone,
wisely.
make sure they're smaller than you.
So if you're gonna fight a tiger and chase a tiger, do it out in the wide open. Don't back him in a corner.
Don't back yourself into
Don't
a corner
back
either.
yourself in a corner. Yeah. All right. It doesn't take a very big person to carry a grudge.
That's true.
This is so true.
Yeah. It's
I've-
true.
Why are you looking at me?
Because my family's not very big people, and they all carry grudges
What do you mean
so
big?
well.
Who are you talking to about your family?
I mean, like physically big.
Talking about your mom and dad?
I'm just I'm talking about everybody.
You're physically
It doesn't
big
take
people.
a very big person. You don't have to be a big, husky person
Muscular.
to carry a
buff.
grudge. Is what basically what this is saying is anybody can carry a grudge.
Anybody can.
That's what they're
Even
saying.
a child.
And I back it up 100%.
I've seen babies carry a grudge before.
I've seen little boys. You know, I ain't even seen.
No, we don't want to bring that up.
I've seen French fry carry. a
I've seen
grudge.
Pop Tart carry. a grudge.
Wow.
I've seen Pop Tart carry.
Yeah, I have too.
I've seen Sweet Pea carry. a grudge.
Oh,
I've seen that too.
burn.
Family secrets.
Not no more.
I've seen Chip carry. Wait, have I?
Well,
I
it
don't know.
depends.
At some point.
All right, here's
He's
one.
the one that causes the grudges.
Yeah.
Now,
Now, I'm going through this list, and I'm not reading them all, but here's a good one. You cannot unsay a cruel word.
it's true.
Technically, people say I take it back, but really, it's already been said.
It doesn't come back.
I've heard it like compared to toothpaste. Once you squeeze it out, you can't get it back in the tube.
You know what I heard it as?
What?
I heard it is somebody was teaching an object lesson about that, and they had a bunch of kids that they were talking to, and they gave all these kids a perfect sheet of paper.
Oh, yes,
like
I've
a
heard
piece of
this one,
computer
too.
paper.
You were wadded up. Hold
And
it.
they had the kids shout out something mean, and every time the kid would shout out something mean, they would give the paper like one smash. And they went around the room, and all the kids said a mean thing. And every time somebody would say a mean thing, you keep smashing your paper as tight as you could, right? And then at the end, the teacher said, "Okay, now straighten your paper back out." And and they did, and they had a full set of the paper unfolded nice, but it still had all these
Had the
creases
creases.
and wrinkles. And the teacher said, "You know what? You said all those things, and yeah, even though you apologized and you tried to smooth it out, you could still see the
Can't
effects.
fix everything.
You could still see the effects of the word." And I'm
So I
like,
guess that's kind of saying that phrase "sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." That's
That's
not
not
true.
yeah.
Sticks and stones can break your bones as
Emotional
well as
pain
words.
is sometimes just as bad, if not worse, than physical pain.
Yeah.
And it can last longer for sure.
All right. When you wallow with pigs, expect to get dirty.
Ooh, I like that one. I've heard that one before.
So give us your insight on that.
Well, if you're going to go hang around a bad crowd, you better just expect that pretty soon you're going to start picking up some of that influence
It's
and
gonna
exhibiting
rub-
that in your life.
It's going to rub off on you. Don't expect to go hang out with the bad crowd and you come around not smelling like they are.
And you may think, oh, they're so fun, but I'm not going to do the bad things. I'm just going to enjoy their company, but it's going to rub off.
Yep. What you think, French fry?
Yeah, that's it.
Affirmative.
So what kind of crowd you been hanging out with?
Pretty good
His
people
girlfriend.
recently.
You been hanging out with a bad crowd?
No.
Not this week.
Yeah.
We can't call them bad. They're probably going to hear this podcast.
Yeah. They're a good crowd. Hey, y'all are the best out
Yeah,
there.
we love y'all.
All right, this one says, don't judge folks by their relatives.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
that one too. These are good.
And then there's
These
also-
are not
So, like,
hillbilly.
you
No,
see,
these are old school. These aren't.
Yeah, these
I
are
don't know why
not.
hillbilly got thrown in there. These are old school.
Okay.
This is like.
think we
old-
should name
you know
them
what?
old school.
You know what? This is old things that pickle and French fry needed to hear.
But then
That's
there's
what
also
it's
the
called.
saying, like with relationships, you marry that girl, you marry her family too.
that's
Which is
not.
also
It is
true.
true, but
Yeah.
you don't judge her by her family.
But like, look, like you see someone around their family's being very embarrassing. That doesn't mean that person is the same way.
I've had friends
There's a
before.
high chance that they could be that way.
Yeah, but it doesn't always mean they are.
I've had friends before that their family was a certain way, and it might not leave the best impression, and they rose above that. They were able to, not be that way.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's easy to look at somebody and turn your nose up at them because of their family's past, and it can be easy to look at that person and just assume
We shouldn't be turning our noses
that,
up at anybody.
and you can assume that they are going to be a spitting image or a reflection of their family and their family's actions, and that's not always the case.
No.
Don't judge that person. Judge that person. Well, you're not supposed to judge anyway, but let your opinion of that person be formed from that person,
Actions.
not from where they come from or what their
Right.
family or relatives have done in the
Yep.
past. That is great.
Well, at the end of the day,
advice.
everybody can make their own choices. They
Yes.
don't have to let their family affect it.
Now this one, I said I already had a favorite one, but I'm gonna like put that one second, and I'm gonna put this one on the top of my list as my favorite as
What?
of now. This one says silence is sometimes the best answer.
I agree,
I love silence.
except when you want to talk and I don't want you to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
true.
there's exceptions,
I agree,
but most
Benny.
most of the
So-
time I like silence.
One thing.
Silent. Hold on, yo. In my office, I have this statue. Okay, and it's like a half of a statue.
It
Isn't
is.
like half
Half of
of
a face and
very
a hand.
artistic.
It's half of a face, and isn't this face? Don't it have a finger?
That's a finger up to its lips.
have a finger up to his lips.
Let's go and
And I was building my office and planning out my decorating and how I wanted my everything to look. And I was looking for something to set on my desk or a bookshelf. And I found this statue, this half face with a finger in front of the lips. And you know what you know what they categorized this statue under?
What?
It said, silence is golden. And I had to have it. That's saying if you come in my office, zip it.
I've
One-
decided
That's what that
something.
means.
I want an office.
Yeah,
Where
how
I
come
can
you're
have
the one that
silence.
got...
Wait.
Why is he the one that got the office?
Time out. How did we go from reading
Yeah.
old school advice to
You're the one
I
who led
was
it
gonna
to
give-
destruction.
sweet people?
I was
going
going to give some good advice, but
Listeners,
Can I tell you
email
I'm-
us at
okay, hold on,
randomyourcandy@yahoo.com. Let us know who you think should get the office.
Hold on. Hey,
Because I don't know why it
I'm
I'm
automatically
going to
went to
change the
him.
name to the quiet room.
I'm going to give the best answer starting right now.
Okay, no, I don't like
all
that
right.
answer.
Hey, no, listen. There is one reason why we have two ears and one mouth.
Shh. We're practicing being silent because that's the best answer.
Yeah, I'm going to turn on some music.
I want to hear French fries comment.
There, I read this thing one time, and it says there's a reason why God only gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and not 2 mouths and 1 ear.
Why?
Because we can listen more. We have 2 ears and we only have 1
I
mouth.
know.
That means
Some
talk
people
less,
need to
listen
take
more.
that advice.
Hey,
I still don't
talking
know why
okay?
Chip got the office.
All right.
We never talked about that.
let's move.
Y'all have to comment
I
and tell
think
us
he
who
wants to
gets it.
change the subject.
Here we go. Here's a
He's
good
getting
one.
scared.
Here is a real good one. If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you have to do is stop digging.
Yeah, that's true.
That means
Duh.
You can't dig yourself out of a hole.
sometimes people dig themselves deeper and
If
deeper
you
the more they
find
talk.
yourself in a tough spot,
Kind of like you
stop.
were a little while ago.
stop doing stop doing the things that's putting you in the tough spot.
I agree.
It's like so many people today do things that they know are going to have negative
Effects.
and negative and bad consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they keep doing them. They
I-
keep digging
Someone's like,
the
I have
hole.
lung cancer. Why do you have lung cancer? Well, I smoke
I
2
smoke.
packs of cigarettes
But
a day.
If lung
well,
cancer,
stop smoking
if
cigarettes.
lung cancer has you in the hole, stop smoking. Okay, that's just an example. I mean,
There's a lot
that's a
of
good one, though.
examples. There's
Yeah, but
another.
that is-
There's
that is-
another
that's great.
phrase for that.
What's that?
A dog returning to its vomit.
Exactly.
That's a biblical example, actually.
Stop digging the hole. You're making your situation worse.
Yeah, but that's man. These old timers knew what they were talking about.
they
huh?
did. I wonder what they
If-
went through
if
to
the
like.
world.
What's considered an old timer?
Ooh,
I
better be
guess-
careful.
That's tricky.
It's like if we could incorporate some
Well,
of this stuff
What
into
do you
real
consider
life.
to be an old timer pickle?
I'd say
Y'all
about
are
maybe.
young.
I'd say about maybe
Thanks.
like 80.
You're over middle age.
I would say 70 or 80. Maybe an old timer.
I look at about 70 or 80.
Yeah.
They've
so in
seen
80
a lot
years,
of life.
If,
we'll say
if
you're
we
still old timers.
if we could just like incorporate like some of this stuff into real life, I wonder if man, how much could it be any better?
I
Oh,
think it
for
could be a
sure.
lot better.
Yeah. All right, here's one. The biggest troublemaker you'll ever have to deal with watches you from the mirror every morning.
Ooh, that's a tough
Well,
one.
that's self-explanatory.
That's pretty much,
Boom.
yeah.
Mic drop.
Boom.
I don't have
So
a mic drop.
you're
sound effect.
your own troublemaker? Is that what
Yeah.
they're saying?
Yourself is your worst
Yeah.
enemy.
It is.
It is. It's the hardest thing
Man.
to improve on.
This is getting deep.
It is. This is definitely not hillbilly.
No, this is like some good old school stuff.
I think it should just be old school,
Yeah.
whatever,
All right.
wisdom.
This one's kind of funny if you think about it in a literal sense, okay? This one says always drink upstream from the herd.
Ew.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
That's terrible.
I'm gonna,
We're not going to explain this
listen.
one.
Yes, I am.
I don't get it. So
Stop.
yeah, explain it.
I'm
You don't-
fixing,
No, I don't.
I'm fixing to paint a picture.
No.
All right.
Please.
You have this big, wide, open pasture. All right, beautiful, dark green grass, pretty blue skies, couple trees here and there, and you got this beautiful, pretty little stream flowing through it.
Oh, I think
And
you
then
get it now.
hold on here. A big herd of deer come bounding over the mountain down into the valley because they want to drink from the stream. And then here you are, you're hiking through this valley, and you see these deer, and these deer are standing all in the stream drinking from this cool, clear water, and you want to drink yourself.
I think I get it.
Are you going
I get
upstream?
it.
Or are you going downstream?
Going upstream.
For why? For why? Probably
Have it right now.
does. I'm just seeing
What
the
is
literal picture.
What is the life? Let's see. What is the
I don't
life?
think I want the water.
I don't want the
This-
downstream.
Okay, let's move
Hey,
on.
no, I got maybe don't follow people's examples. Maybe.
If they're bad. I
Yeah, if
guess.
they're bad, maybe
Yes.
be better than them.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the
If you're
lit-
trying to-
I
The
like
literal one's
or if-
pretty good.
If you're trying to improve your life or your reputation, stop hanging around the bad crowd.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Don't take examples from the
All
bad
right.
crowd.
Anyway, I like the literal picture. It's
I don't care for
Yeah.
it too much,
All
honestly.
right, here we go. Letting the cat out of the bag is a whole lot easier than putting it back in.
Ooh, that's true.
That means once something slips out of your mouth, they already know.
Spreading a rumor is a lot harder than
yeah. If
keeping
you're
one
supposed
in.
to be keeping a secret, if you let it out,
Yeah.
you can't put it back.
Yeah.
That's some good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Why is that the right one?
Oh, I guess it
That
Oh,
would.
one's
okay.
pretty
It's
self-explanatory.
it's however you interpret it. I mean, I see when I first read these, I have a literal picture painted in my mind, and I think you cat's in the bag, you let it out. How much trouble is it to catch that cat and put it back in? It's going to go back in, maybe, but it's
Somebody's
going to
gonna get hurt.
It's going to claw. It's going to scratch you up, and you might not live through it. But
And
anyway,
it's the same thing
It's a
with
big
the
cat if it's going to kill you.
yep. All right, we got just a couple more. Live a good, honorable life. Then, when you get older and think back, you'll enjoy it a second time.
Your memories.
good.
You'll just go through your
Yeah.
memories and relive
Yeah.
your life. Yeah.
Don't do something now that you'll regret later.
However, the bad things do stand out more than the good things. So,
Right.
I mean, you're going to
Yeah.
have regrets no matter what.
I mean, you're
try to
going.
minimize your
you're-
regrets.
You're always going to have a time in life when you think back on your past.
And the bad things are going to stand out more.
So always live to where you know you're going to have pleasurable memories in the future.
Mhm.
Right?
So why are we not traveling around the world so we can build tons of
Yeah.
awesome
Wow.
memories
We're
to live back
seeking
on?
treasure
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
another
This
place.
this says live a good, honorable life. They're not talking about
talking
physical
about
things.
moral.
Yeah, moral.
Yeah,
Moral
but-
stuff.
decisions.
Physical still is cool.
And they're not talking about literal.
What's the next one?
Let's go to
moral stuff.
Ireland or something.
Yep. All right. Last one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Most times, it just gets down to common sense.
Oh, we
I like
are
that
missing that in
one.
this world.
Just this world is so
That's
lacking.
that's one thing I feel like I miss sometimes.
Well, no comment.
Most times,
I'm not going to argue with
it
that.
just gets down to
We love you,
common
French fry.
yeah.
sense.
Try
If
to.
so many more people would
Dude.
exercise common sense.
Thanks a
know.
lot.
I really wonder.
just you.
Sometimes I wonder if people today are born without it.
They are.
Oh, it
Some
does
people
seem
are.
like it.
I would like to think that everybody has a little bit in them that maybe they just don't know how
Guys,
to. They don't know how to utilize
I
it.
can name a
those,
few.
some of those with you with extra common sense. Would you mind donating some of that to people who don't have it at all? and helping the world out a little bit
You're
more.
doing a lot better than some of the things we read about on the news. Read the news and you're about lose hope in mankind for common sense.
Yeah. I just thought these were cool.
They were. I liked them.
I guess I kind of, when it said old school, I kind of, in my mind, I thought about taking a walk with my grandpa and him like just giving me some good life advice.
Yeah.
So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I thought it was neat.
It was fun.
And I wanted to hear Pickles and French Fries take on it, being they're not really old school.
I mean, we aced it.
I'm not even old school.
Well, we probably
I
are
don't
to
think
them.
so, but
So.
I enjoy that type of thing. I enjoy things from the past. It's fun, but it was fun. I'm looking forward to the next one. And
Email us at randomearcandy@yahoo.com. Let us know who should get the office.
you know what? Y'all get stuck on one thing. Hey, you know what would
You
be fun
avoid
though?
one
Hey,
thing.
I'm putting an application
you know
in
what
for the
would be
office
fun?
too.
You know what would be fun?
To have a guest.
What?
It would be fun if they would email us some of their old school advice.
Yeah,
things.
send us your
And
old school
tell
advice.
us a topic.
Send us
Oh,
a
wait. Our intro music's over. We're going to start that back up again.
That's our retro music.
It's not our intro music, by the way.
Outro.
Outro and intro. Same thing.
Oh.
But
Yeah, you
So that
didn't
means-
wrap it up
that
fast
means,
enough.
That means we did not wrap it up fast enough. All right, y'all. It was fun. We enjoyed it. Until next time, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say.
oh,
Have
thank you.
common sense.
Yeah.
Have common sense.
Bye, y'all.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Goodbye.
Bye.